Are you ready to scale your coaching business but feel stuck trading time for money in one-on-one coaching? In this video, I'm going to guide you through the steps to smoothly transition from one-on-one coaching to group coaching and ensure that your clients get amazing results. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to share with you my pricing guide for coaches so that you know exactly what to charge for your new group coaching program. So let's dive right in. The first step to making this transition is clarifying what I call the 4 Ps. And the 4 Ps are person, problem, promise, and process. Let me say that again. The first P is choosing the person. For you to have a high value, results-driven group coaching program, you've got to make sure to build this program for one person. What I mean by that is if you had stay-at-home moms, corporate executives, entrepreneurs, and professional athletes in one group, they would have totally different challenges. They would have totally different goals if you didn't have a topic or a theme that you were teaching. So they would be on these calls and they wouldn't be able to relate to anyone else. So they would lose value from that one group coaching call that they would get access to. Now imagine if instead you built an entire program for salespeople, or you built an entire program for graphic designers, or an entire program for couples who want to restore passion in their marriage. Whatever that is, the more specific you are on the person, the more value every one of your clients will get by being a part of that program. And the easier it is for you to develop your whole curriculum because you're solving a series of problems for one person. So that's step number 1, is choose the person. Step number 2 is to pinpoint the problem. Yes, you want to be specific on the person, but you also want to be specific on what's the problem that this program is going to solve. If you're a business coach, you want to be specific. Is your program specifically designed to solve lead generation issues, or sales issues, or design issues, or branding issues? The more specific you are in that, the more your ideal clients are going to see the value proposition of your program, raise their hand and say, I'm interested. But if you try to solve every problem for every person, you're going to be viewed as a wandering generality. You're going to have people from all different walks of life at different stages in their careers, or the different stages of in their health or in their relationships, and they're not going to have that cohesive community, that family that somebody needs to feel to stick around in your group coaching program. So make sure to pinpoint the problem. The third P is a promise. We got to clarify the promise. Not just being clear on what the problem is that you solve, but what's the promise? What's the outcome that they're going to get? Again, if they're all aiming towards the same promise, the same outcome, they may be at different stages, but they're on the same journey. And so every student and every client will get value from being on that call, even if they're not on the hot seat, even if somebody else is on the hot seat, because one of their peers is asking questions that they did not even know they needed to ask. And that's the magic and the value of association when it comes to a group. So make sure to clarify that promise. And then finally, once you're clear on the person, the problem that you solve, and the promise you make, now it's your job to start mapping out your process. What is the step-by-step process of your coaching program? When you know the steps, they're going to have a clear picture. If you're crystal clear on what to do with your clients in that program, week 1, and then week 2, and week 3, and week 4, number 1, they're going to have more trust in you because they see a step-by-step process. And number 2, you are going to feel rock solid confident. But if you're not clear, then they're not confident, right? If you're not clear, you're not going to be confident and they're not going to trust you. And so mapping out and reverse engineering that process. Now, if you've never delivered this program before, then you may not know every step in the right sequence. But what you want to do is make a hypothesis, right? You're making your best guess based on your unique life experience and your expertise, and you're brain dumping. Okay, if I was to put together a 3-month coaching program, what would I do month 1, month 2, month 3 with my clients? And then within each of those months, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, what would I do with my client? And then when you make your best guess and your hypothesis, you deliver that program as it is. It may not be perfect. You may be missing things. You may have overcomplicated things. You may find that there's holes in your process, but the only way to discover those things in your process is by delivering it. Again, so maybe the first client that you sign into this, you're not charging $50,000 for, you're charging $5,000 or $500. Whatever that price is, you're choosing a price that you can over deliver on, and I'm getting a step ahead of myself because we're going to cover that at the very end. So those are the 4 Ps. Again, choosing the person, pinpointing the problem, clarifying the promise, and then mapping out your process. Now, the second step to transition from one-on-one to group coaching is to build this transition over time. And so I will recommend that you almost always want to start with one-on-one coaching, because if you don't have an audience, you don't have a proven process, then to develop a group coaching program from scratch can be really hard. My recommendation is start with a handful of one-on-one clients. And once you get your third one-on-one client, you have enough clients where you can start adding a group call. And this is what I did. So I did one-on-one coaching the first couple of years of my business, and it was useful, it was valuable, I got great experience, my clients got great results, but I had very little freedom. And there was a moment in my business where I had about 18 one-on-one clients, and I hit a ceiling. The only way that I could work with more clients and make more money was by working longer hours and taking time away from my family, my hobbies, my friends, and I did not want to do that. And so I started to think strategically about how do I leverage my time, and the group model was the best way of doing that. But the way that I made that transition, and the way that I recommend you make this transition, is once you have 3 one-on-one clients, what they're getting from you already is one-on-one calls, maybe one every week or one every other week. Then what you do is you reach out on your next call to each of them, and you say, hey, I've got enough clients right now to where I'm gonna add a complimentary free group coaching call with you twice a month or once a week, whichever your cadence is. And you say, I'm going to invite you to that call. You don't have to pay anything else for it. You're just getting additional access to me so that you get more value, more coaching, more accountability. And what you will find is that your one-on-one clients will show up, and now you have a group call even though you don't have any group-only clients. But then that fourth sales call that you have, or that next client that you onboard, if you don't want that person to be a one-on-one client because of your time constraints and your time capacity, then you simply invite them to the group program, which is access to those calls. And so now you've smoothly made that transition. Your one-on-one clients have access to those calls so they get more value from you, and your new clients actually have a group call where there's actually a group of people on it and they're not showing up on a one-on-one call with you, which is kind of embarrassing. So that's the secret. That is the smoothest way to transition from one-on-one to group coaching. The third step is building out your curriculum. Your curriculum is your video modules, your resources, your templates, your scripts, your tools that your clients are going to use to get value, to solve their problem, to make progress towards their goals. And in the beginning, you may not have any of this, and that's okay. In my first couple of years, I didn't have a curriculum. I was just doing one-on-one coaching. But as soon as I started to unpack my intellectual property and package it into a membership site with training modules and templates and scripts, now my clients started to get value from me without having to show up on a one-on-one call. And that gave me my time back. It gave me freedom. And so this is where you want to start building out your curriculum. Again, know that done is better than perfect. This is the first version. This is your MVP, your minimum viable product. So your first version may be, selfie videos on your phone with a really bad mic. That's okay. But let's get that out there and let's deliver on the promise, because the production value is not what they're paying for. They're paying for the content, the coaching, the accountability, and the results, right? So that's really what you're going to deliver them. But the curriculum is going to free you up. Now, it takes time up front to build this, of course, right? It's going to take time to think down, brainstorm, and then develop all of this content. But the investment of time on the front end is going to be your ticket to freedom on the back end. And that's ultimately what you want, is a business that can run without you. And when you have a curriculum, that's going to be the core of that entire coaching program. Now, the fourth and final step to transitioning from one-on-one to group coaching is to make sure you build this with the right systems and the right foundation to turn your clients into raving fans. I had a big mindset block about making this transition for a long time. I wasn't comfortable with going to group coaching. I was so worried that my clients wouldn't get value if they didn't have one-on-one access to me. But what developing a group coaching program forced me to do was systemize my coaching, was structure it in a way that can help anyone at any stage. That's my ideal client, anyone in my niche, right? And by doing that, I filled a lot of the holes in the gaps of my coaching. And so if this is the first version, it's not your best version, maybe you're not going to charge, and I don't recommend charging your highest price for your first program. This first program is designed to get a handful of success stories for you. And so what you can do is you can choose a price that is fair, that you know you are going to under-promise on and over-deliver on. That's the idea. What you don't want to do is over-promise and under-deliver. You want to do the opposite. You want to under-promise and you want to over deliver. You want to create raving fans, because those raving fans will refer others to you. They will sign up for additional coaching programs with you, and they will also be the testimonials and the success stories that you need to scale this business. So that fourth and final step when transitioning is to choose a price that you know is fair, that you are going to over deliver on, 10 times the value on what you're asking them to pay. Now that you understand these 4 steps on how to transition from one-on-one to group, you may be wondering, how do you structure this group program? How do you actually take your expertise and package it into a 12-week or 6-week or 6-month program? Well, I've got a video that teaches you exactly how to do that. And so if you just click or comment below program, what I will do is my team will send you the video that walks you through how to develop your signature group coaching program. It walks you through step by step. It also gives you a template that you can download for free that allows you to literally unpack and brain dump all of your magic into this high value, high converting group coaching program. Now, before I wrap up this video, I just asked for a quick favor. I recently noticed that only about 29% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel. And so if you've gotten value from this video and you want to make sure to get more content from me in the future, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to this channel right now so that you never miss a future video. And as promised, I said once you got until the end, I would share with you my pricing guide for coaches. That is available in my next video, which is called What to Charge for Coaching Consulting. So if you want to know what to charge for your one-on-one, your group program like we talked about today, and your online course, click up here in the corner, watch this video, and in that video, I gift you my pricing guide for coaches. My name is Peter Scott, reminding you to be here, act now, and fear less.